The Vikings, often romanticized as fierce warriors and seafaring explorers, had a rich cultural tapestry that included a variety of unusual rituals. These practices, many of which seem strange or even shocking by modern standards, were integral to their way of life and worldview. Understanding these rituals provides a window into the values, beliefs, and social structures of Viking society. 1. Blood Eagle. One of the most infamous Viking rituals is the Blood Eagle, a form of execution that has been widely debated by historians for its gruesome nature. According to sagas, the Blood Eagle was performed by slicing open the back of a victim, severing the ribs from the spine, and pulling the lungs out through the openings to create a pair of wings. This brutal act was supposedly done to enemies or traitors as a form of retribution and was meant to honor Odin, the chief god who valued bravery and warrior prowess. While the historical accuracy of the Blood Eagle is contentious, it highlights the Vikings' complex relationship with violence, honor, and the divine. 2. Blót sacrifices. Blót was a term for blood sacrifice, a ritual offering to the gods and spirits. These ceremonies were central to Viking religious life and were conducted to ensure prosperity, victory in battle, or favor from the gods. Sacrifices could include animals like horses, pigs, and cattle, and in some cases, even humans. These rituals often took place during significant festivals, such as Yule, the winter solstice, and during the summer solstice, to mark seasonal changes and honor gods like Freyr, Thor, and Odin. The blood of the sacrificed animals was considered sacred and was used to anoint altars, idols, and participants, symbolizing a powerful connection between the earthly and the divine. 3. Seiðr Norse shamanism. Seiðr was a form of Norse magic or shamanism practiced predominantly by women known as vulvas or seeresses, though men could also practice it. This ritual involved entering a trance to communicate with the spirit world, foretell the future, or manipulate fate. Practitioners of Seiðr could perform spells for protection, fertility, and even cursing enemies. The practice was deeply respected and feared, as it was believed to hold immense power over the natural and supernatural realms. Notably, Odin himself was said to practice Seiðr, which emphasizes its importance in Viking spirituality. 4. Funeral rites. Viking funeral practices varied widely but were often elaborate and symbolic. High-status individuals such as chieftains or warriors might be buried in ships along with their possessions, slaves, and animals, which were believed to aid them in the afterlife. Ship burials, such as the famous Oseberg ship burial, showcased the Vikings' belief in the voyage to the afterlife. Another practice involved cremation, where the deceased's body was burned on a pyre and the ashes were either buried or spread. Funerals were accompanied by feasts and games, celebrating the life of the deceased and ensuring their safe passage to Valhalla, or another realm of the dead. 5. Marriage and divorce customs. Viking marriage rituals were complex and involved numerous customs that seem unusual today. Marriages were often arranged for political alliances or economic gain rather than love. The wedding ceremony included a series of rituals such as the exchange of swords, the bride's transfer from her family to the groom's household, and the use of ceremonial mead. Divorce was also relatively straightforward for Viking women compared to other contemporary societies. Women could initiate divorce for reasons such as abuse, infidelity, or the husband's inability to provide. This autonomy indicates the relatively high status of women in Viking society. 6. Holmgang. The duel. Holmgang was a formalized duel used to settle disputes and conflicts within Viking society. If two individuals had a disagreement that could not be resolved through negotiation, they might engage in Holmgang. This ritualized combat was governed by strict rules and was often fought to the first blood rather than death. The winner would be declared right in the dispute, and the loser would have to compensate the victor. Holmgang reflects the Vikings' emphasis on personal honor and justice, where individuals had the right to defend their reputation and claims through combat. The rituals of the Vikings, while often stark and brutal by modern standards, were deeply embedded in their cultural and spiritual lives. These practices reflect a society that valued honor, bravery, and a close connection to the divine and natural worlds. By examining these unusual rituals, we gain a richer understanding of the complexities and nuances of Viking life, far beyond their notorious reputation as mere raiders and warriors.